everybody, Stu Carter here from Atamaii TV. I'm coming to you from my new top secret toy testing lab. Yesterday I talked about some minifigures, some Bandai Star Wars minifigures, semi-deformed minifigures. Today I'm going to talk about some from Takara-tomy, also Japanese. These are, at least two of them, are die-cast from the new movie Star Wars The Force Awakens. So stand by for a Star Wars toy review. Well, here's a look at the boxes. The figures are die-cast, and I've got a Stormtrooper, a First Order Stormtrooper, and I've got a Kylo Ren. There are more available. Well, look, when I go to Japan to get toys, I spend a ton of money, so I can't buy everything in the series, right? These other two are another series, another line from, Takara-tomy made a line of action figures, well, or at least miniature figures from Star Wars. There's the back of the box, right? And they also made a line, just like another line, Tominica. It's similar to their vehicle line. Takara-tomy makes a lot of vehicles. And this is their vehicle line. These do not feel like they are die-cast. So I've got the Atamaii Walker, and I've got the Millennium Falcon. And later I'm going to compare the Millennium Falcon to some of my other Millennium Falcons. I've got miniature ones in another review. But let's get these all open and have a look, okay? Come on. Okay, so looking at the Millennium Falcon, just like the big boy toys, it's encased in protective plastic. I like that. There is a secret code. Don't steal my code. Okay, just like when you buy the Beyblades. Takara-tomy makes Beyblades, you know. Of course you know that. Here's the Atamaii Walker. Oh, no secret code. Oh, yeah, here it is. Here it is. Here's the code. Don't steal my code. And Atamaii Walker, yeah. And then Kylo Ren, he's wrapped in plastic. Looks like he's also pretty much assembled. I just have to put his crossguard lightsaber on. And yet another secret code. Don't steal it. And this First Order Stormtrooper. I've got to just put his pistol on. Looks like there's a little bit of articulation with these as well. So we're going to cut the plastic off these guys and have a good, don't steal my code. Okay, let's get these opened up. Okay, looking at the Kylo Ren figure first. Let's see how tall he is. Looks like he's about, can you see that? It's about 3 inches tall. Yeah, even a little bit more than 3, maybe 3 1/4. Yeah, a little bit taller. Compared to that Bandai one, was only two inches, see, from yesterday. So he's a good bit bigger, of course. And, you know, I'm wondering about why do you need to make a die-cast action figure? Come down to it, there's not much of him that's really die-cast. Yeah, he's heavy. You can tell he's die-cast. But what die-cast is, like the legs and his torso that you don't even really see. This stuff down here is die-cast. And by the way, notice he's got some little peg holes on the bottom. But his arms are soft rubber, plastic, and his head and his cape and stuff are soft plastic, flexible, which would be kind of appropriate. His little lightsaber thing is plastic, also a rubber, and it kind of got a little bit bent, you can see, right? But I figure if I kept playing with it, messing with it, it could probably straighten out. It's got a reasonable amount of detail. They put some detail into the rubbery, you know, plastic of his cloak. And he's doing this, I've got him doing this arm thing, like he's trying to be Darth Vader with that arm choking move, kind of, yeah, I don't know. Not as much roughness on the helmet that I'm kind of used to with a lot of these guys. And I'll take some real close-up pictures as well, but I don't know. It's okay. I don't think it's a really expensive figure. Another thing too, this is kind of wobbly on here. This is one of those things you're going to lose the part pretty easy. He doesn't come with a stand, but he's got the peg holes, right? So you could put him into little pegs. A lot of you have got bases that have pegs that will probably fit that, because he's got to fall over pretty easy. But yeah, it's a collectible if you like these kind of collectibles. I don't know. I'm not that excited about this one. Let's look at the Stormtrooper. This guy. Yeah, shinier. I think the shiny stuff with die-cast, yeah, maybe that's more appropriate because more of him is die-cast, not all of him. His arms are soft plastic and rubber, and like Kylo Ren, you know, he can move his arms at the shoulders. This blaster pistol, that's got to come out easy, okay? I put that in there. He's holding it okay, but you could tell that's the kind of thing that's going to fall off, and you might lose it easy. So be careful about that. Remember before the other day I was asking about if anyone knows if this is a uniform part, this little hole in his back of his armor. It's the same thing with the Bandai. So I'm thinking, well, gee, if you're going to shoot one of these guys, just aim for this little hole in the back of his armor, you know, bam, you can get him right in the back. It's, I don't know, is that a good design? Yeah, I don't know. Put his arm down. He can move his head just a little bit, you know. Yeah, not super amount of details molded into his body there, but he's got the little bit of bumps where they're supposed to have stuff for, you know, for their armor. He's got his little patches there, his little pouches. Yeah, same height as Kylo Ren. Okay, let me readjust the camera for the, well, I don't need to readjust the camera for the AT Walker. We'll just put the Walker here. These are also die-cast. I said they weren't, but they are. This is a die-cast body here. Let me check the camera. Yeah, that's a die-cast body, okay? And there's parts here that are metal. I rather like the work of this AT Walker because they made the legs articulating, see? And so he can do the kneel down thing like he's falling down, like he's been shot, and all that kind of stuff. The head doesn't move, but the four legs do. And what that means is that this is a good candidate for stop motion animation. I'm not going to try one tonight or today or any time this week because it takes a long time. But if you're interested, see, because stop motion, you need to move a leg a little bit. See, he holds the pose well. See, and then you just got to make sure he doesn't fall over. But then a little bit more, see, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, you know, like that. It's a little bit at a time. And then you can make a movie where, you know, he's walking. Like that, see? You could do that. You could do that if you had like $1 billion years. Also, you could be cheap and just push it because he's got rollers on the bottom. They put rollers. See, there's rollers down there. That's also a nice idea. I don't think there's no magnets in here, but yeah. So that's kind of nice. Unfortunately, the side doesn't open up, and you can't put little tiny men in there. That would have been fun. A little tiny men. There's enough room in there. Why not? Oh, they could have made it open up. Yeah. If I'm the boss of Takara, I will tell them to do that. All right, well, so we look at Millennium Falcon. I'll just keep the camera like this first, and then I'll put the camera higher, or maybe I'll just tilt it. Millennium Falcon also has rollers. So he can be like driving around on the planet. After he lands, he can just drive around. You know, well, that's why not. And but I'll hold him up here like this. See, here's the wheels. And yeah, it's pretty basic. I mean, yeah, there's details in there. Look, there's details. You can see them. There's that little satellite dish thing. There's a little navigation pod, right? That's where they fly it from, like this pod, right? And then they get the gun ports were on both sides. You don't really see guns sticking out, but they've got those. Here's the exhaust vents for the engines. Now, if you really want to be cool, you know, you put some smoke effects on here, right? Like these. You see my video when I was at Toy Fair in Tokyo in June. They were doing that. They were putting smoke effects, like burned out effects, probably using, well, I'm not. I won't even conjecture how they do that because I'm not a modeler. But if you're a modeler, you probably know about how to do that. Maybe with holding up a match to it a little bit. That would be cool. I hope to compare this to some of the other Millennium Falcons that I have. Do I see one on my toy wall here? No, I do not. But I've got one in the storage. I've got one in a box somewhere from Mattel. And I've got a couple others, I think. So we may compare those together to see, you know, who's getting the more detail for the money. Because these weren't very expensive. These were about 400 yen. That's about $4 or $5. So not terribly expensive. So let's line them up. Okay, so you tell me in your comments, which of these did you like best? Kylo Ren, the First Order Stormtrooper, AT Walker, or the Millennium Falcon? Did I mention that I don't feel any die cast on this? I'm not. Maybe part of this hull is die cast. Yeah. Okay. The hull is die cast. I'll just say that. Yes. Sometimes it's hard to tell these days because they make them so thin. Yeah, the hull is die cast. Okay. Yeah, you give me your comments. Which of these you think are the coolest? Okay. Well, that's it for today. What am I going to do next? I don't know yet. I got to think about it. I know you Ben 10 fans. You're probably looking at my Ben 10 stuff back here. I'm going to tell you, be patient. Be patient. I'm sure I'm going to have Ben 10 news after I go to Hong Kong. There will be a toy fair there in October. So you got to wait one more month, about a month and a half. I'm going to go to Toy Fair in Hong Kong, and that's probably where they're going to launch the new Ben 10 toys, or at least there'll be rumors and conjectures and innuendos about Ben 10. And then we may start seeing the first Ben 10 toys coming next spring, because that's what they will show them in October, and then they'll start releasing them, probably not in December, but probably next spring of next year. So, until next time, have a great day.
To kill me, I guess I'm doing okay. I'm lost among the millions, just an empty head filled with the sky. I separated my life between the boring